Trump has unveiled his new tariff theory, claiming that sanctions on India are designed to hurt Russia. He says these measures have already cost Moscow hundreds of billions of dollars and warns that tougher actions, including Phase 2 and Phase 3 sanctions, are still on the table. Trump describes the secondary sanctions on India as a direct move to target Russia.
You've expressed many times your frustration and disappointment with Putin, but there's no action since you took your office.
How do you know there's no? How do you know there's no action?
But
really? Wait. Who are you with? Who are you with?
I'm with the Polish radio.
Okay. How do you know there's no action? Would you say that putting secondary sanctions on India, the largest purchaser outside of China, they're almost equal? Would you say there was no action? That cost hundreds of billions of dollars to Russia. You call that no action? And I haven't done Phase 2 yet or Phase 3.
Amid Trump's tariff tantrums, Russian President Vladimir Putin has a strong message for the U.S. He's asking President Trump not to use tariffs and sanctions to bully India and China. Speaking to the media after attending the SCO summit and a military parade in China, Putin accused the Trump administration of using economic pressure to destabilize two of Asia's largest powers. Calling India and China partners, Putin condemned the U.S. tariff regime, calling it an attempt to weaken their leadership. Lower court called tariffs illegal. Now, Trump asks Supreme Court to quickly take up the tariffs case and reverse the ruling, the finding that said that the tariffs were illegal. Donald Trump's administration has taken this fight over tariffs to the Supreme Court now, asking the justices to rule quickly that the president has the power to impose sweeping import taxes under federal law. The government called on the court to reverse an appeals court ruling that found most of Trump's tariffs illegal use of an emergency powers law. Now, it's the latest in a series of Trump administration appeals to a Supreme Court. He helped shape and one that is expected to put a centerpiece of the president's trade policy before the justices. U.S. Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit left the tariffs in place for now, but the administration nevertheless called on the High Court to intervene quickly in a petition filed electronically and provided to the Associated Press. It was expected to be formally docketed on Thursday. We're given to understand Solicitor General D. John Sauer has asked the justices to take up the case and hear arguments in early November. So the Trump administration now asking the Supreme Court to look into the matter and is seeking a reverse of the appeals court findings, calling Donald Trump's decision of imposing tariffs illegal. Donald Trump's administration has now approached the Supreme Court. They want the tariff ruling to be reversed. We'll also try and connect with our reporters to get you more details. Now, the decision casts a pall of uncertainty upon ongoing foreign negotiations that the president has been pursuing through tariff over the past 5 months, jeopardizing both already negotiated framework deals and ongoing negotiations. Let's go across to Srinjoy Chaudhary, my colleague who's joining us in the broadcast with more details. Now, the Trump administration, Srinjoy, has approached the Supreme Court. They want the order or the finding on Trump tariff that was called illegal by the appeals court to be reversed.
See, the United States is not a monarchy. Now, there is a division of powers. You have the legislature, you have the executive, you have the Supreme Court. Now, yes, the legislature is now fully Republican, beholden to the president himself, and 3 of the other of the 9 Supreme Court judges were appointed by the president himself. There is no dispute with that. But even then, they are Supreme Court judges, and they will take time to decide on the matter and then take a decision that they want to take. This, as I said, is not a monarchy. So in this case, the president can only appeal. They can only appeal to the Supreme Court, the third leg of the system, to do things earlier. But the Supreme Court will decide when it will decide, and then, of course, will come the decision.
All right. So at the moment, Trump administration seeking a reverse of the lower court finding calling tariffs illegal. All right. So let's take a look at what's transpiring at the moment. Let's take a look at how there are reactions coming in on Trump's tariff tyranny. Vladimir Putin has also hit out at Donald Trump the decision to impose first tariff and then sanctions on India, as admitted by the White House press secretary, Ms. Leavitt herself. This is what Vladimir Putin has said. Can't talk to India and China like that. These are powerful economies in the Asian region. And Xi Jinping, the Chinese president, said never intimidated by any bullies. In fact, remember, China took India's side and a stand that you should stand up to the bully. Then you had Alexander Stubb, Finland president, who said need more dignity for nations like India. These are all reactions, of course, in India's favor. John Bolton, former US NSA, said decades of efforts to build ties shredded. Criticism for the Trump's administration to impose sanctions on India. Then you had Jake Sullivan, former US NSA, saying Trump sacrificed India for families' park deals. Mr. Khanna, US representative, said Trump is destroying US and India ties. So these are multiple reactions coming in from within US as well. Trump undermining 30 years of efforts, destabilizing relationship with India, destroying relationship with India. These are multiple reactions coming in, criticizing Donald Trump's policy of imposing tariffs. Not just the appeals court, lower appeals court that said that this was illegal. Multiple reactions coming in, highlighting how this is going to destroy India-America relations.